All right, everyone. This is going to be kind of a one-off episode, podcast, whatever you want to call it. If you didn't know, I'm Josh. I run SavePoint Vids on YouTube. That's youtube.com/SavePointVids. Please check us out. Follow us, give us a thumbs up. The reason this one's a little different is I wanted to kind of throw in my 2 cents on the Ubisoft HitRecord controversy. I had some interesting discussions on Twitter with some people who were on the opposite side of the issue as me, or how I felt, I should say. So I just wanted to, tell you guys what I think. Let me know if you guys agree, disagree. I can promise you that I will always be respectful when I debate somebody. I'm never gonna, personally attack or block you because we don't agree. That's not my style. That's not the way that I like to do things. I think having different opinions and, different viewpoints is very good. You can always learn something. If you think that you know everything and that you don't want to, take somebody else's account, and think about that, I think it's just arrogant and it's short-sighted. And I think that, not just video games, not to get into anything else, politics or anything, but, if people just agreed to disagree and actually listen to other people's viewpoints without automatically name-calling and, going overboard and personally attacking, I think that, we would be a lot better off. But anyway, so back to this. This comes from Kotaku, but you can find it on any major outlet. I'm going to read this real quick, and then again, I'm going to give you guys my 2 cents. Ethan Gach, I think is how you pronounce it. Ethan Gach, over at Kotaku. If I mispronounce your name, I apologize, Ethan. Ubisoft invites fans to make music for Watch Dogs Legion, sparking exploitation debate. All right. Last week, actor Joseph Gordon-Levitt announced on Twitter that his music production company, HitRecord, would once again partner with Ubisoft, this time to help the publisher create 10 songs for its upcoming open-world hacker game, Watch Dogs Legion. This immediately reignited an old debate about the ethics of soliciting work for big-budget games from fans. Okay? Quote, 10 original songs collaboratively made for hashtag Watch Dogs Legion by you. Come play with us, end quote, Gordon-Levitt tweeted on July 11th. According to the FAQ on Ubisoft's website, the publisher will be paying $20,000 for the original music, which will be played during the game, like as one example offered, while you're driving around the game's version of London. All right, at $2,000 per song, the proceeds will end up being paid out through HitRecord to whichever of the platform's users helped create the music. As one example, the Watch Dogs Legion production page on HitRecord lists a need for a dark electronic heist song. The themes of this song are going to be centered around infiltration, teamwork, suspense, high-stakes, thievery, so keep these in mind when contributing, reads part of the song's project overview. Hundreds of people have already started posting their initial demos. So, that's basically it. And then, there is some opposition. I'll kind of scroll down to the bottom here. Ubisoft first tried this model with the science fiction game Beyond Good and Evil 2, which is still in development and has been criticized as a way to replace salaried or contract work with, quote, spec work in which creatives volunteer their time and labor without knowing for sure whether they'll be paid. Quote, this sucks, tweeted Mike Bithell, developer of Thomas Was Alone and the upcoming John Wick's Hex game, under the no-spec hashtag. Pay people for their labor, stop exploiting fans and hobbyists while devaluing the work of those with the gall to actually expect consistent payment for work done. Do better, Ubi. We're counting on you, end quote. It goes on to a couple of people. That's pretty much it. So just to summarize, Ubisoft is basically saying, hey, all of you music, producers and content creators, submit your song, and if we choose you as one of the 10, we'll give you $2,000. And if there's multiple people collaborating on one project, then that amount will be divvied up evenly between all of the collaborators. Okay. On the one hand, I completely understand wanting to get paid for the work that you put in, But my personal take and what I was talking about with this gentleman on Twitter who was like, spec work is exploitative, it's underhanded, it's unsavory, along those lines, like, don't exploit, just like Mike Bithell said in his tweet, don't exploit people who are hobbyists to, basically get free work with, work from these people without having to necessarily pay them. My 2 cents, and the counter to that is if you are an upcoming, in this case, musical artist, maybe you just are starting out, you just started your SoundCloud, you just started your YouTube channel, if people know the pros and cons and the risks and rewards of, doing this, most likely, if there end up being hundreds or thousands of submissions and there's only 10 songs to be chosen, they know the risks inherently that, hey, I might put in all this work and get nothing out of it. But if they know that going in and they're still okay with that, then why is it a problem? Let the market decide. Let the people individually decide. If they believe it's underhanded and shady or exploitative, then don't participate in it. I think that, as a small content creator, myself, who only has 50 subscribers on YouTube, and whose, podcasts and videos probably get 5 to 7 views and plays per episode that I'm currently releasing, I personally, and you can check my Instagram, I personally have reached out to hundreds of bigger outlets, not to name drop, but like Rooster Teeth, Kinda Funny, CLS, Achievement Hunter, all of these big outlets that I consider big outlets, IGN, GameSpot. I've reached out to all of these people through DMs, through Instagram, saying, hey, I will happily create content for free for you just for the chance at being recognized. And I'm not alone. I know that I'm not alone. People just want to get their foot in the door. And again, if they know that, hey, I might put in all this work and get nothing out of it, but at least I got the opportunity to stand up at the plate and take a swing, then who are we to say that that's not okay? I think that, I don't think it's as black and white as, oh, it's spec work, it's bad. I think that, you have to let the people, the individual and the market decide. Obviously, there's a huge demand for this. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought this program back, and it wouldn't be taking off in the way that it is. As long as Ubisoft's not being shady and hiding information, by all accounts, they're telling you up front that, this is basically the rules of the contest. Again, most likely you're not going to be paid, because the 10 songs out of, again, hundreds or thousands of submissions, the chances of you getting picked are this big. But that might be okay for them, and I don't think it's exploiting them. It's just, they want a shot at getting their foot in the door, and I think that has to be okay, and people are just automatically, they can't command a salary like somebody that, has been doing this a long time. If you're an established musician or music producer, sure, you can demand a paycheck. But again, if you're just starting out, you don't have that resume to be able to do that. I can't command as a podcaster, and a content creator. Still weird to call myself that, but if that's what I'm going to label myself as, I don't have the resume to go out and command a paycheck to, create videos for somebody's website or to, guest host on somebody else's podcast. I don't have that ability because I'm just starting out. So I reached out and said, hey, I'll do this for free just to get my name out there in the hopes that one day that'll be one stepping stone that will allow me further down the line to command and expect a paycheck. That's all. And I think that, it has to be okay. You can't just shut this opportunity down on these people that are, willing and wanting to do this, and they have all the information. Leave it up to them to make an informed decision. Don't just assume that everybody thinks that it's bad just because I don't think that's who are you to decide that? Leave it up to the individual and just let the marketplace decide. So anyway, that's all I've got, guys. I'm going to post this as soon as I can get it up. Let me know what you guys think. Tweet at me at SavePointJosh. Instagram also. Again, if you found this entertaining, informative, hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, tell your friends about it. I would definitely appreciate it. Until next time, guys, stay safe.